Kakalosh Boker Tov. We're continuing with the halachot that we were mentioning yesterday. We're speaking about now the avera, the avon of ashchatat zera levatala, of spilling seed, which is chamur me'od, which is very, very chamur. V'yesh omrim, some people say that it's even going to be more chamur le'apilu bar mibeten imo, than to even cause that a woman should come and have an abortion. So where exactly does this come from? So he brings other manei mekomot from Velam Mishol Chelek Hey, and he brings down in the name of the poskim that Yitzur Zera Levatala is actually the Chamur Mikol Averot Shabbat Torah. It's based upon the Zohar HaKadosh. It's also brought down in Siman Kav Gimel in Even Ezer, which is basically that it is actually one of the most strictful sins in the entire Torah, right? Chamur Mikol Averot. V'yesh Omrim, and some people say Shemotzim Zera Levatala Chayav Mita, that he's actually even obligated the death penalty. V'apogem bivrito bali de aniyut. A person that comes and he's going to be pogem in his brit, he's going to come to poverty, and to sicknesses and sufferings. And those people that they come, and they will come and cause with their hands that they're going to be motzi zera levatala. Not only they're doing a very big sin, they're obligated to be excommunicated. So he says, so the people that they're learning, whether it's science and others, they realize that if you take a magnifying glass and you're going to take one drop of zera, you have the entire tzurat adam. You have the entire human being. If you remember, we brought this down from the Sefer Dabrut of Rav Zamir Cohen. If you remember that we brought down, that's why it says that it's kivu mevi mabula olam. And one drop of semen already has all the DNA in order to create a child. So therefore, all it is one drop. Lachen hamotzim zaram vatala. Kilu argu min nefesh misrael. It's kilu they killed a person. Valem neimar, on them it's written yedechem damim maleu, that your hands are full of blood. Now the Chidushe Maharal mi Prague in the Sefer Gver Agula, he comes and he says, if somebody comes and he kills someone else, so what happens? He's not gober al atchalat havaya. He doesn't come and destroy the beginning of the human being, but only the continuation of the human being. Somebody comes, he killed him. Okay, so he killed someone else. The person was still born, he still lived, but the continuation he destroyed. He says, however, though a mashchit zaro, somebody that's going to be destroying his own semen, shu atchalat havaya chamur yoter, is even worse, and therefore it's mevi mabul olam. So the Shuter Tzvi says, brings down the Avnei Nezer, that he says that the words of the Maharal are dvarim brurim kashemesh. It is so clear, and he brings the raya from Tosafot Arosh and Yevamot, that the ikar isur shchatat zera is betchilat achimum, is at the beginning when a person is getting warmed up, and that's when he's going to spill his seed, but not after it already came out of his body. So he brings a shut shelat yavetz, that which the Chavot Yair brings, that he wanted to learn from Apalat Ubar, from Din of Otzad Zera Levatala, he comes and he says like this, listen to this, we're trying to compare what is so bad about an abortion. So he comes and he says, they're trying to learn the abortion from Otzad Zera Levatala. He says, Shani Otzad Zera Levatala Shemara Lashpa. He comes and he says that when a person comes and he spills the seed, it's going to waste. Umosif Bekochot Atuma, he's adding on to the energies of the impurities in the world. Umachish bepamalia shelmala, he's going against HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the firmament, and he says kanoda mitam chochmei amem balei Kabbalah, just like it's brought down in balei Kabbalah, and therefore he also holds hotzat zera levatala is actually worse than abortion, and that's what's brought down also in the Shut Yabia Omer. He says, look over there in Chelek Daled, Even Ezer Siman Aleph, En Kamokom La'arich. I'll just finish off by saying, even though there's going to be a lot more, here it brings down that, however, the Abal Teshuva, that he sinned in the past, and he was oved on Otzad Zera Levatala, and now he wants to fix that which he already defected, he went and he sinned. He has to confess and he has to feel remorse every single night time before he goes to sin on such a chet chamur, and he has to say bepeh maleh, he has to say with his mouth shemitztael ma shechata, that he actually comes and he's suffering for that which he sinned, and he's going to accept upon himself that he will never do such a sin kol yemei chayav, the rest of his life. Uvenosef lekach, and more than this, he has to be marbeh betalmud Torah. He has to get married as early as possible, and he has to strengthen other people b'shmirat habrit. He should also strengthen other people in this. Hashem yitbarach yikabel tshuvato b'rachamim, and Hashem will accept his teshuvah with mercy. V'yasir avono chatot techupar, and he will remove his sin, and his sin will be forgiven. So he says this is what's brought down in the Shut Igrot Moshe Chelek Daled. Rav Moshe Feinstein says ikar teshuvah is azivat hachet. The main part of the teshuvah process, or remorse, is what? The azivat hachet, that you're not going to sin again. So he comes and he says that ta'aniyot and sigufim are not me'akvot teshuvah. right? That means if a person wants to come and start doing ta'aniyot on these things, it's not going to impede the teshuvah, but it helps about teshuvah to return to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as is brought down in the Nord of Yehuda. Nevertheless, a person should try to fast at least once a year. Teshuvah, pam, he says once a month. Right, or whatever a person could actually do, and he brings down the tshuvot v'anagot. However, though, he comes and he says somebody that's difficult for them to fast, so he should be marbeh b'torah kedosha. He should learn more Torah, just like Rav Ovadia brings down in Shut Yebi Omer. She'en latanyot siguvim shoresh b'shas. If you look throughout the entire Shas, there's no concept which is brought down to do with Tanyot and Sigufim. The Midrash Rabbah Parashat Kedoshim says, "Im nikshel adam ba'avira v'yitchayem mita b'dei shamayim ma'yaseh v'yichyeh." If he would actually come and learn one daf, that means a person comes and he was going to be chayam mita b'dei shamayim. What's he supposed to do? He says the Midrash over there, if a person used to learn one daf, he would learn 2 dapim. If he used to learn 1 perek, learn 2 prakim. If he wouldn't learn at all, so he has to actually come and become a parnasa l'tzibur, gabayet tzedakah, and then he's going to be alive. And the Shut Zera met. So therefore you see from here that from the Shas scheme, the entire concept of fasts and doing all these things, there's no shoresh there. So therefore the ikar is azivat achet and limud Torah. And the Shut Zera met actually says, even if a person comes and he's going to be choteh ba'averot chamurot, en lo lashevet b'ta'anit im gorim lo davar lebitul Torah. Let's say a person wants to come, they want to do ta'anit, but they're going to do ta'anit, they're not going to learn Torah. So he says, you shouldn't do that. Right? So he comes and he says, and not like the Rashid Chokhmah that says that Achoteh ba'arayot tzarich lekabel yisurim ta'aniyot, even though there is bitul Torah. So he comes and he says, Umi iten vayal levav kochmeh dorenu shelo le'atriach ha'ba'alei teshuvah yoter midai. So he comes and he says, look on, especially during our days, that they're not going to come and start telling the ba'alei teshuvah to start doing sigufim ta'aniyot. Right? That he says because of the weaknesses that we have, we can't actually stop ourselves. The ikar is teshuvah is azivat achet, and the Torah is going to protect us. So therefore, a person should come and be osek Torah, and then he doesn't need lo olav, lo mincha, lo chatav, lo hasham. So you see from here that the most important is strengthening ourselves in the learning of the Torah, be'ezrat Hashem.